Hi, I'm Jenny from the Missouri Star Quilt Company. Take a look at this gorgeous quilt behind me. Hillary came up with this pattern. We're calling it Phoebe's Flower Box, and it's just so darling. Every little square ends up being bordered, and it's just a really cute, easy pattern. We made this quilt from a fabric line called Phoebe by Another Point of View from Wyndham Fabrics, and I just fell in love with this purple. This is just a gorgeous quilt. So what you need to make this quilt is one jelly roll, about 2 yards of a solid or a fabric that's going to pop your jelly roll, and then your border fabrics, which is, this is going to be about 3/4 of a yard, and this is going to be about 1.5 yards, depending upon how wide you end up making your borders. So just keep a watch on that, and let me show you how this is done. So you're going to take a jelly roll, and you're going to unroll your strips, and you're going to sew contrasting colors together. I have a light purple and a darker purple and a lighter white for this contrasting set, and I've sewn a couple together here. So here's these two, and there's these two. So you just kind of want to divide up your jelly roll into 2 different piles of lights and darks and put them together. Then we're going to go ahead and cut 3.5 inches, because what we're making is a 4 patch like this. So you've sewn your 2 strips together, and we're going to cut them 3.5 inches because we don't want a normal 4 patch. We want this kind of elongated one. So let's go ahead, let me go ahead and cut these 2 pieces. Now I'm cutting 2 at once. I layered my strips, you can see. Here's the top one, and here's the bottom. That just saves you a little bit of time. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our lights and darks and make sure they're opposites like this. And then we're going to sew that together just like you would a 4 patch. So because you've ironed to the dark side on your, when you iron these strip sets, these pieces should nest together just perfectly. So let's go ahead and sew these together. Make sure they're lined up. You can put a pin in there if you need to. I like to take a few stitches to anchor mine, and then I like to kind of peel it back, open it, make sure those seams are exactly nested together, and then go ahead and sew my square. Now what we want to do is iron it open. So we'll just set that seam and then roll that back. I'm going to clip the thread. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your solid fabric and you're going to cut it in 1.5 strips. And it's going to be 1.5 by 6.5, which should be the width of your block. Let me check here. Yeah, it's 6.5, and that, depending upon your seam allowance, but you're going to make your strips that same size. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach a strip to both sides of this block on the long side. So let's go to the sewing machine and do that. This shouldn't take us but a minute. This is just a great project. It's fun. It has a lot of, it's just kind of a showstopper for how easy it is. It's another one of those projects that's just really easy and quick. Now what I'm going to do right here is just turn that around and put it on the other side. So what I end up doing is sewing down one direction and up the next. And you don't have to do that. You could chain them all down one side if you wanted. Either way will work. We're just trying to get them together. All right, now let me press this open. And I forgot to actually set my seams on there. I always forget that because I get so excited to get to the finished look. So we need to set those seams. And then I'm going to trim these threads off of here. I leave threads terrible. I'm terrible that way. So once you get your strips on the sides, this is the block you end up with. Darling little block, 4 patch with 2 strips on either side. But when you get 2 of these together, what happens is you turn one sideways, the first one's up, the next one's sideways, and it ends up bordering itself together. The blocks just fit in there perfectly. Each block ends up looking bordered, and all you've had to do is sew strips on 2 sides. So we hope you enjoyed this tutorial on Phoebe's Flower Box from the Missouri Star Quilt Company.